Hey everyone! So I wasn't really wanting to do a beer review video today, and I didn't really have a recipe video or anything like that. I am drinking a beer, but it's one I've already reviewed, so I'm not going to review it again. You guys already know how much I love this. So there's that, but I did want to talk a little bit about, this is my channel, and I like sharing things I'm interested in. And another thing that I'm really interested in that I haven't really shared with you guys yet is personal finance and investing and all of that. I don't have much credential. I'm not, a Grant Cardone or anything like that. I'm only 22. I've said that in videos before, and I'm just kind of getting started with everything. I'm getting started, with all my different interests and kind of pursuing each one of them individually and seeing where they go and what I like and what I don't like. But one thing I am really interested in, and have been for probably about the past year, has been personal finance. I started out listening to Dave Ramsey and I was a hardcore Dave Ramseyer for my husband's like yelling at the TV. Anyway, I was a hardcore Dave Ramseyer for probably about 6 months to a year. And I paid off my student debt and I was debt free. And then it came time to buy a house, which I have talked to you guys about in another video. But basically, I didn't buy the house the Dave Ramsey way. And that's perfectly fine. I feel like it was still a good decision for me. And yeah, so basically the next step for me, I am putting money into a Roth IRA, not a whole ton, but like enough just to kind of put my feet in. And I've been putting some money into a Roth IRA from M1 Finance, hashtag not sponsored, but I do highly recommend them. I've been putting in money to a Roth IRA through M1 Finance for a little over a year now, and I am pretty pleased with the results. I think last time I looked it was like at 10% or something like that, which I think is pretty good, like 10-11%. Granted, I think that stock market has been pretty good this past year and has been for many years now, but it has ups and downs, and I think this past year was pretty good. So I've been doing that, and the next logical step for me and something I'm really interested in is real estate investing. And I am like just going into this. I do not own any investment properties, but I am trying. 2019, I want to get my first investment property. Not 100% sure how I'm going to do it yet, but I want to do it, and I want to do it bad. So I listened to the whole audiobook of Rich Dad Poor Dad today when I was at work. The whole, 6.5 hour audiobook. I listened to it at work today, okay? And I'm probably going to listen to another real estate investing audiobook tomorrow. I'm just going to try to listen to audiobooks every day at work until I have to, do something that requires me to not listen, which will happen every now and then. Part of my job, I do have to not have in headphones, but for the part of my job that I can have in headphones, I'm going to be listening to real estate investing books. And anyway, so I had an epiphany yesterday. I was like, you know what? I don't really have the cash sitting around for a down payment. And I was like, and I can't do the FHA loan and get a duplex because I'm not a first-time home buyer. And I don't really want to do a private lender because if shit were to go wrong, I want it to be on me, not on someone else. And that's why I don't really want to do a private lender. But then I had an epiphany. I was like, wait, I can do a HELOC and use the money out of my home equity for a down payment on a rental property for the 20% and then just get a regular old mortgage. So really the thing would be 100% financed, even though the first 20% would be backwardsly out of my own money. So I was going to do that. And then I went to the bank today and talked to them, and they were like, yeah, I wouldn't advise that, but yeah. And I was like the lady literally looked at me like I had 3 heads when I said, hi, I was wondering about getting a HELOC so that I can use it as a down payment and then get a mortgage for a rental property. I swear to gosh, she started shaking. She was like, it was crazy. But then I got home, and I guess I didn't realize how much equity I didn't have in my house. Because I think generally for HELOCs you have to have, they loan you up to 80% equity, and I didn't realize basically how little I would get if I took out the difference between 80% and what I'm at now. And after the fees, I'm not sure if it would really make sense. That is something I still might look into, though, and crunch the numbers using the HELOC with a combination of, you know, cash and possibly other strategies. I'm not 100% sure. I just know that I want to make this happen this year, preferably sooner than later, because I am impatient. I'm tired of waiting, and I'm like on fire for this now. I feel like I have to do it. Like, it's something I've gotta do. And I'm trying to think of all the different ways I can make it happen. Basically, I would be looking at a property that's like $50,000 or less and would definitely need some rehab, but not like a bunch of rehab. Basically things like, oh, it needs new floors and some paint and, you know, maybe some landscaping. Like, that stuff I can do. You know, changing the hardware on the cabinets and, you know, maybe getting a new vanity for the bathroom or something like that. Like, those are things I can definitely do. If it were to need something like a complete electrical rewiring or plumbing or structural issues, I can't deal with that. Termites, maybe, you know, get an exterminator, but there's nothing saying they won't come back. And then if you have tenants living there, depending, you know, you just, yeah. But basically, I would be looking to get a house that is $50,000 or less. So my expected down payment would be $10,000. After closing costs and repairs, I'd be looking probably at $15,000 to $20,000. But there are some different ways I'm thinking about doing this. I could take out the HELOC, use cash, and I don't even know, like, if there's any. I don't want to use credit cards, but I really want this. I'm not even sure if it would make sense. Obviously, I'd have to run the numbers on all of these things to make sure, you know, they would even make sense. Now, I would borrow money from my parents. Not that my parents have money, but if they were to take money out on a HELOC, that would be a hell of a lot more than I would have on a HELOC. Obviously, they've been living in their house for 20 years and their mortgage is almost paid off. So if they were wanting to get $10,000 out on a HELOC, it would be like, you know, a raindrop in a puddle, okay? And my mom has been wanting to get into real estate. She's reading Rich Dad Poor Dad right now, but I'm just not sure how serious she is. I don't really, like I said before, I don't really like getting into things like that with people. I don't know. I don't like mixing my finances with people. Is that bad? Yeah. And then, so I'd be looking at, I don't know, personal loans. I don't know. Basically anything to get that 20% down payment. Or the other option would be looking at houses that are like worth $50,000 and then just completely lowballing them with an offer, because some houses I've seen have sat on the market for quite a while now, and you know, you never know what might happen. You send them a lowball offer and they might reply back and say no, but counter offer, and you still might get a pretty good deal. So that's another option. If I can't get the full $10,000, just send offers for what I can do. See how that works. Really, I wouldn't be expecting to have it sit vacant for any longer than a month or two after acquiring it. hopefully would get someone in there. The rental market in my area is pretty strong. You always see people looking mostly for 2 or 3 bedrooms. I saw a lot of 2 bedrooms up for rent for between the $600 to $700 range. So, you know, if I could get a deal on something and then fix it up to rental grade and rent it out for that much, I think it would be a pretty good decision. Obviously a 3rd bedroom would add a little more. I'm not sure incrementally how much more that would add in value, but yeah, so that's kind of where I stand right now. You know, I guess this could change, but it is something that I keep coming back to. I've always had an interest in real estate, and you know, I've looked at houses on Zillow since I was like 10. Like, I would spend hours on Zillow just looking at houses. Like, imagine that, a 10-year-old looking at houses on Zillow all day. Weird, right? Okay. But you know, it's something I have always kind of been interested in, and I just think it makes more sense for me in the long run than doing something like becoming like a real estate agent or something like that, which, you know, I was going to do a couple times now, but every time I go to do it, it doesn't make sense for me, whereas this, it makes sense. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at in my journey right now, just kind of struggling to figure out how to get it all together. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Let me know if you have any creative financing ideas down in the comments below. I do know that people get burnt on real estate, and I know you can get burnt pretty bad on real estate, but I also believe that if you do your due diligence and, you know, go into it knowing as much as you possibly can, that you can succeed. You know, sometimes you just don't make the right decision, but I feel like if you have the knowledge and you go in there and you use it, then more than likely you won't get burnt. The people who get burnt are people who didn't, you know, didn't really look into it. It's not saying people who know what they're doing can't get burnt either, but yeah, that's kind of how I feel on that. I got kind of quiet there, I'm sorry. Anyway, I will see y'all in my next video. Be sure to leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.